Premier Parry, I know earlier it made parallels with the revered civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King. I know you may never get to the mountaintop because indeed he operated in a much wider atmosphere, the great United States. And in fact, his work became global. And of course, you're operating in a mere 36 square miles, and by extension, St. Kitts 104. Some people tonight have lauded you as Nevis's Moses, leading Nevisians to a better place. And I don't envy you having to come here now to respond to all the wonderful sentiments expressed by all the speakers and all those who raised toast. But it is incumbent on you. So could you welcome for his response, Nevis's Moses, Nevis Premier J. Joseph Walcott Parry.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. The Honourable Deputy Governor General and Mrs. John, Honourable Prime Minister Dr. Denzel Douglas, Deputy Prime Minister Mr. Simon Conda and Mrs. Conda, Deputy Premier Mr. Hensley Daniel and Mrs. Daniel, all the members of the Federal Cabinet who are here, the Attorney General and Ms. Marcella Liebert, Honourable Marcella Liebert, members of the Nevis Island Administration, Your Excellencies, ambassadors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, visitors from abroad, my dear friend Roosevelt David, Livingston Sargent, I must tell you that it's a very funny thing about Cotton Ground. Everybody's related. Everybody, so Mr. Sargent and I are related. Mr. David and I are related. Sometimes you don't really know if you're talking as friend or family, but we're talking. What I feel about them, though, is that we come from a long, long way, from many years ago. And we have been able to retain our friendship over these years. And to me, it is not only important, but it's a mark of stability and the type of relationships that have endured over the years. And it must mean that there's something good in us for that to happen. I must say that tonight is a very moving night for me. I really did not know what to expect because I kept my distance in terms of the organizers. And when they sought to tell me what their problems were, I moved away because I felt that I needed a rest. I needed a break, and they have to learn to sort out their problems. But they have done a fantastic job. And I want to congratulate Monica Tyson and all those ladies who were able to put on such a brilliant show tonight. A round of applause, please. I am to thank the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister and his party, including the Ambassador of Taiwan and the other Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Bart, for taking time out to come here tonight. You know, we speak of old days, but time moves on and things change. And the beauty of being a human being is that you can change your mind or you can look at things and realize that it is time to move in another direction. Obviously, Denzel and I was schooled together in grammar school. I did not know him. Victor Martin did, he said. Victor Martin told me they were in class together. But when I was in sixth form, he must have been in about second form. And in those days, sixth formers did not speak to second formers. Second formers had to know sixth formers. Those days are now gone. And everybody knows everybody. So we were at school. The days of Bradshaw, the days of Labour and Nevis were not our days. They were not our days. And our experiences and the changes in the Caribbean and in the world have dictated that we need to get on. The movements with China and America and Britain and France and Germany and even Russia. If former enemies, bitter enemies can work together, why can't we? I do not believe that any man or woman should be allowed to make an issue out of the relationship between Denzel Douglas and myself. We are both working for the development of St. Kitts and Nevis. We have done great things together. And there are many great things there for us to do. Those who wish to go backward, those who wish to talk about the past, they can do so. But if you were to check their records, you will find out when we were fighting for secession, you couldn't find them. You will find out that we were never fighting for an independent Nevis. We were fighting to go back to Britain. Thank God we did not succeed. Thank God we did not succeed, because we would have had the problems that Anguilla has today. Do you know that today we have more power in Nevis than Anguilla has in Anguilla? Nobody tells you that. That is a stark, naked truth. So, Mr. Prime Minister, you have your job to do on St. Kitts. I have my job to do on Nevis. And together we are going to make merry music in this country. Honourable Sam Conda and Mrs. Conda, I knew her before I knew you. I knew her since in the 60s. I did not think about you. But you have reached out to me, and your wife has reached out to me, and for that I'm grateful and I'm thankful. We can be friends sometimes if we have differences, and you have proven that. Again, congratulations for your maturity, and thank you very much both. I want to say that Senator Roosevelt David, you know, I always knew that he would be a politician. When we were little, we were out there talking our politics. And as we grew up, and I went to the Virgin Islands, I said, Roosevelt, you're going to run for politics. And he said, no. And he said, Walcott, you're going to run for politics. And I said, no. I really didn't intend to. I ended up doing it. But I was always very interested in the development of my country, and the development of the Caribbean, and the development of black people. Always. And I will never leave out black people. I was always interested in it. To no disadvantage to any other race, but I always feel that we have to learn to promote ourselves. And that is what I have done all my life. I've tried to have integrity. I've tried to speak the truth. I've tried, as Roosevelt would say, touch lives and reach out to people and take my fellow man along with me. In terms of the development of Nevis, I reach out to anybody and everybody, Englishman, American, Korean, African, doesn't matter whom. Once they can do something positive for this country, that is what I want. I would have made some mistakes. I will make some more mistakes. But I listen, and anybody who works with me, or anybody who knows me will say, Parry's conceited. Parry's stubborn. But if you want Parry to change, just tell him, and he'll go home and come back the next morning, and he'll say, boy, I think I should change. I will do that. Don't fight me, but tell me, and give me time to sit down and work it through, and I will be willing to change. I think Mr. Isaac could attest to that. I see him smiling. We have worked very well together, extremely well. Mr. David, you have done exceedingly well in the Virgin Islands. You have made your mark. You have never given up Nevis. You have always taken an interest in Nevis. And you and I have exchanged views, and you have told me many things, and you yourself have said, boy, welcome to stubborn. But in the end, we're both stubborn people. We couldn't have gotten where we got if we were not stubborn, if we were not strong, if we were not courageous. I thank you very much for those kind words tonight. And I dare say that I must thank you for your support. We can't pretend that Roosevelt don't support me. He does. He does. And I support him too. Because we are almost like peas in a pod. But there's one thing I'll say about both of us, that we are honest with each other. And when we are wrong, we are wrong. Roosevelt, I would work very hard with my team. And you know this, you cannot achieve anything by yourself. You must work with a team. And if I'm not anything else, I'm a team player. It is true, and the Prime Minister will tell you, there are times when you have to ignore the team and make a decision. You have to do it, but you must not do it often. You must only do it when it becomes absolutely necessary. And the team will be willing to accept that time when you have to use the axe. That is my policy. That is my style. I think sometimes they call me dictator in my cabinet. They do, you know. They call me dictator. But in the end, they all work with me. And we work together, and we do a fantastic job. Elections are coming. Elections are coming, not around the corner. We have more things to do. And we are going to do them. But they are coming, and every step we take takes us closer to elections. I believe the point has been made so many times, and I don't have to make them again. But performance matters. Performance matters. Performance matters. The young people are saying it, and they're texting each other that performance matters. When you're being young people, they have all kind of performance they're talking about. But we are not going to get into that tonight. The point is, performance matters, and we must vote on performance. We must take the message to every hill, the hills of Stony Hill, and the plains of Bath, the New River in the New River area, and the Camps area, and Brickhill and Butlers, all over. You notice I didn't say Charlestown and St. Thomas's. But we must take it all over. Because when it is done, you must vote for performance, and you must vote for a future for the people of Nevis, for your country. I end by saying thanks to the Women's Arm, thanks to the Youth Arm, thanks to the Nevis Executive, thanks to Herman Leibert. I hit him for 6, but he never remembers I hit him for 6. I remember where I did it. It was right over in the Brown Hill playfield. I swept him for 6. But he has not remembered that. He had a passion for cricket, and so do I. He has a passion for politics, and so do I. He has a passion for honesty, and so do I. We have so many things in common. God bless you, Herman. You're a great man. To every member, Daniel Hensley, Hector, I love to say Hector because it sounds like a Greek. It sounds like Troy. Hector, Carlisle Powell, Cozier, Ashley Farrell, and all those who have worked with me, thank you. Who's that? And PARRY'S. And PARRY'S. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for allowing me to disturb you at all hours. Thank you for delivering. We are a great team, and we will continue to be a great team as we move forward this year. Ladies and gentlemen, thank all of you for making this night a great night. Thank you very much.